And reactions are still trailing the announcement by Governor Umar Bago to suspend the operation of Badeggi FM, a radio station in Minna. Ministry of Information and National Orientation, in a statement, acknowledged the concerns raised by the governor, but explained that the suspension of broadcasting licenses falls within the purview of the National Broadcasting Commission, as stipulated by law. It also welcomes the decision of the Niger State government to formally report the perceived unethical behavior of Badeggi FM to the NBC for resolution, but appealed to all parties to remain calm, assuring that the NBC has the necessary mechanisms to resolve the issue in a fair and impartial manner. Also, the Nigerian Guild of Editors condemned the recent order of the closure of Badeggi radio station, saying it is an attack on press freedom and democracy in Nigeria. The Nigerian Guild of Editors say, quote, "This act of censorship and intimidation undermines the fundamental principles of democratic society, where free press is essential for holding those in power accountable," end quote. They say government officials should know that the country is in a democracy, and therefore the act of arbitrary order for the sealing off and closure of a radio station is unacceptable. Yes, we're going to be discussing this closure of the radio station in Minna, the Niger State capital. And of course, we have joining us to discuss this, Jide Johnson, who is of the the Institute of Journalism in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. What do you think of this decision by the governor of Niger State for just to put everything into perspective? Is a state government or a state governor legitimately allowed to close down a radio station or a media house generally?
Well, I thank you for having me. First, I appreciate the response of the Minister of Information and National Orientation, his quick response to educating the governor that the power to close or sanction any broadcasting station in Nigeria does not lie with the president, does not lie with the governor. It lies with National Broadcasting Commission and not with
Ocean State.
All right, we'll go back to our earlier discussion on the closure of Badeggi FM by the Niger State Governor Bago, and the Chief Lecturer of the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, Dr. Jide Idris, is joining us via Zoom at this time. Dr. Jide Johnson, rather. Thank you so much for sticking around, and of course, despite the network issue we had initially. Looking at this situation, what is your thought on all of this? Dr. Jide Johnson, can you hear me?
Well, I think that there's a need for us to have a democratic institute, one that trains the elected governors and public officials on what is their constitutional role and what is within the purview of their respective offices. I think if the governor is properly tutored and counseled, we wouldn't have taken a decision that has turned him into national embarrassment and a global embarrassment, because with the benefit of insight, the governor will have taken the right approach in dealing with this particular issue. It does not fall within the purviews of his executive power for him to suspend any radio station. That responsibility lies with the National Broadcasting Commission. Unfortunately for him, the Minister of National Orientation is even from his state. Probably a call through to the Minister of Information and National Orientation will have sufficed in this regard. My advice to all elected public officials is for them to consult wide before they exercise the executive power. There are checks and balances with respect to what you can do and what you can't do as an executive power. This is not a military regime. This is a democratic government, and their roles and responsibilities are assigned to different departments, ministries, and agencies of government. And so his action is a nullity. And you could see the swift reaction of the ministry, and you could also see the swift reaction of Nigerian Guild of Editors. And I'm sure with the benefit of insight, the governor wouldn't have taken this particular decision, which he took which I believe is a knee-jerk approach in solving a particular problem. If you feel aggrieved by the actions or inactions of particular radio stations, there are channels through which you could channel your grievances, not using the office of the governor, subjecting the office of the governor to ridicule by taking an illegal action.
All right. So as it stands now, Badeggi FM is not suspended despite the order by the governor.
I can't hear you. You are saying something.
I said, I'm asking, as it stands now, Badeggi FM is not suspended. Its license is not suspended despite the order of the governor.
Yes, the order of the governor is a nullity. It does not have the power to do that. Just imagine the governor of Lagos State saying that, okay, I suspend the license of TVC, I suspend the license of Radio Continental, I suspend the license of. It's not within the purview of his power. In Nigeria is a constitutional republic. There are constitutional roles that are given to different levels and tiers of government and occupiers of different leadership positions in the state. So it does not have, it's a nullity. As far as I'm concerned, if this particular radio station should take the governor to court and they should sue the government will become liable for taking an action which infringes on their fundamental human rights, which also infringe on the provisions of the Constitution. The 1999 Constitution, as amended, says the media shall be the watchdog, shall be the fourth estate of the realm, and shall be the watchdog of the society, and shall hold government accountable. Now, the institution of the fourth estate of the realm, one of the estate is not questioning that estate. So the action of the governor is a nullity, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, Chief Lecturer, National Institute of Journalism, Dr. Jide Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us. Government and